What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Welcome back to Moxy Approved. If you've been following my channel recently, you know I've been covering the Tyre Nichols case. Yesterday, I came out with some pretty provocative information about CJ Davis. Well, today, I wanted to cover the comments of this police officer. It seems like his name is Brandon Williams. He isn't just a regular police officer. This isn't Officer Tatum or a lawyer or something like that. This guy's a little bit different. He actually patrolled with two of the guys that have been indicted on the Tyre Nichols case. So I was very interested in hearing his comments on how this situation occurred. He's familiar with at least two of these guys from that patrol unit, and he has patrolled with them before. So I want to hear, this is a guy that knows all the tactics. He's been trained. So I think his opinion on this situation is very important. He has 3 points that he's going to make. I'm just going to do a little reaction off of those 3 points. But pay attention to what this guy says, because since I posted up that video of CJ Davis, I've been seeing a lot of differing opinions. A lot of people are blaming this on Tyre Nichols. Hey, everybody has an opinion. You're allowed to share it. Well, let's hear what this guy has to say about this situation. Before we do that, please do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, apply pressure to that subscribe button. Apply pressure to that subscribe button. Let's go.
What's up, guys? So a lot of you know me for my Spanish content, but a lot of you also know that I was a former Memphis police officer between the years of 2016 and 2021. And I just want to give some insight into the Tyre Nichols incident that's going on with my former police department. So stay tuned. So people have been asking me, I left the department in the end of 2021 after 5 years of service, and people ask me all the time, what do you think about the Tyre Nichols incident moving forward? And there are some points that I want to point out after watching the video and kind of seeing what's been going on in Memphis that I think will be really interesting to you. So 2 of the 5 officers I did patrol with personally and did have a personal relationship with 2 of the 5. So I'm going to be talking from a personal standpoint and from a standpoint as a former Memphis police officer and what I see moving forward.
Go ahead, brother.
And even though I know 2 of the 5 personally and I patrolled with them personally and had a relationship with them, this in no way excuses any of their actions that partook about 2 weeks ago with the Tyre Nichols incident. The first thing that I want to talk about, which is utter BS, is you'll see a lot of conservatives, but you see a lot of far-right conservatives that say, why did he run? He would still be alive if he ran. That's not a guarantee.
I 100% agree. I'm not a person that would run in a situation like this, but I wasn't in this situation. I might have ran myself. It seemed like from the very get-go, these guys had violence on their heart. A lot of policies that I know just as a regular citizen, like acknowledging what you are a suspect for and what they think that you've done wrong. I never heard that in the video. When the video started playing and when one of the body cams arrived on the scene, it was automatic. Get in the car, get in the car. I never heard no one say reckless driving. I never heard anybody say that. It was just straight up violence.
So the first thing that came out was that this all started because this was a reckless driving. But now the chief of the department is saying that there is no evidence of reckless driving, which means you can't say that if he never ran that he would still be alive when the stop was illegal in the first place.
Now, I like that he said that. I'm not a police officer. He went a step further than I would have. And I'm pretty sure they're doing this as we speak now in what you may want to call dangerous neighborhoods, not really following the policy and pulling people over and stuff like that. Basically, what he's saying is they had no reason to pull this guy over in the first place, let alone act like this man just shot up a school, because that's exactly how they treated this guy.
Now, I have had to pull out people, rip people out of a car aggressively at gunpoint with foul language many a times. But most of those people were murderers, robbers, sexual assaulters, the worst of the worst, where you needed to meet violence with violence.
That's another fact. I've actually seen this situation occur in real life. If you're a high profile suspect, that's the way they're probably going to arrest you. Just like I said, if people suspect that you just got finished shooting up a school. I remember a couple years ago, do y'all remember the Cleveland shooter, the bald-headed black guy that his girl broke up with him and he was going around shooting older black folks? That's somebody that deserved to get pulled over like this. And I've seen people high profile get pulled over like this. And what they do is once they got them pulled over, they surround their car with other cop cars and they pull out the bullhorn. If this guy was that dangerous, that's what they should have done. If they thought he was that dangerous, pull him to the side, surround him with police cars and pull out the bullhorn and say, hey, we need you to show both your hands and get out of the car. They didn't do any of that.
Never once did I put my gun in the face of somebody who I suppose for reckless driving, right? So from the get-go, you have a man.
I'm sorry, this ain't funny, man. Reckless driving. Reckless driving.
And who was not guilty of anything, fleeing from the police because he's scared because he doesn't even know why he's getting pulled over in such an aggressive manner. So as a black male, I probably would have ran too, and I was the police for 5 years.
Touche, man. Touche. You heard it. This guy is a cop. For all, I'm not gonna put no party on it, but I do see it's a lot of black conservatives. Me, I'm a black independent. I'm not liberal or conservative. I see positives in both sides, but I do see a lot of conservatives blaming this on TYRE Nichols. I want y'all to use this actual video. This is a cop saying that this guy had the right to do that. This cop is saying, and it's more important in my opinion, because I'm not a cop. Not only is this guy a cop, remember, he patrolled with these guys. He himself is saying he might have ran in that situation.
Number two, there is no way, form, or fashion that you take a police boot and you strike a man's face multiple times while he's on the ground. No form, no way, no fashion. There is no way that is excusable. I don't care who you're fighting. A kick to the face right here, that could be lethal. And unless you're trying to intentionally kill somebody, that is not a tactic that is taught, nor should ever be used.
And now let's be real with those police boots. Those police boots are like construction boots. They literally make those boots heavier than regular boots for kicking someone in the face like that. Let's just be real. It's an unspoken thing. We know they make those boots like that on purpose, okay? And he's even saying it himself. You're not supposed to use a police boot as a weapon. But they build it like that for them to do that. These guys got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. You're not supposed to do that. Once again, this is coming from an actual former cop that patrolled with these guys.
Number three, if you are a police officer, I don't care how cool you are, people, you never, ever, ever let your fellow officer do anything that you wouldn't let be done to you.
Now, he stated that perfectly. And I never thought about it like that. Once again, I'm not a police officer. But I believe, it sounds like this guy made moral lines for himself. And it sounds like this guy was part of a group of cops that they had lines that they would draw themselves on as far as how they would treat people that they had to arrest. And I think that is the best way of explaining right and wrong between how to arrest someone, even if you think that they're dangerous. Don't do something to them that you wouldn't allow to be done to yourself. And come on, man. None of them cops would allow what they did to be done to themselves. We know they wouldn't even done that on somebody that was white. So, I mean, I appreciate this, brother.
You are just as guilty as the lynch mobs who used to lynch black people and watch them die and get lynched, even though they never put a hand on them. You are just as guilty. And my last point.
I agree with that also. And I do believe more people are going to be arrested. Yeah, I don't know how they were able to sit there and watch that and not only not ask no question themselves, but automatically just start participating.
Everybody from the beaters to the paramedics to the regular officers on the scene that stood there and watched is going to lose their job and should, because once you look at somebody, no matter what crime they did, and you take the human out of them, you have now also lost your humanity and now your freedom.
Hey, I think this guy, Brandon Williams, y'all go ahead and follow him, Brandon Williams 972_. I think this was beautifully stated. This was one of the rather productive opinions that I've heard out there on this case. I hope this brother comes out and says more stuff, gives his opinion more about this case, because he actually ran with these people. But you let me know in the comment section how you feel. And don't be afraid if you're one of those people that think that TYRE shouldn't have ran. Let me know in the comment section how you feel. I'm just going to say this. This is very important that it's coming from an actual cop, all right? An actual cop. You know, a lot of us could have said, oh, I wouldn't have ran out, but none of us was in that situation. And I'm glad that this cop came out and said that Tyre Nichols did nothing wrong by running for his life, which he should have. Unfortunately, he lost it anyway. Well, anyways, y'all know how we like to end our videos over here on Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved.